Hey guys, welcome back to Behind the Weight Loss. I'm Nancy.
I'm Mitchie.
So, Mitchie, today we're going to talk about what to expect in terms of weight loss, different things that you can tell, hey, this might be working, and just things to kind of expect within either your first month or along the journey.
So, Nancy, you get a lot of questions like that, right?
So, I think that's probably the most
The number one.
common question that we probably get. Because I think a lot of times people too, and this kind of goes back to the last episode of people like comparing to like other people or like the influencer.
Celebrities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think having like a welcome call with the member success team, it could kind of help out with those expectations of like what to look for. This is maybe a sign that it's working, or you know. So I think it is probably the most common question that we get.
Yeah, makes sense too. It's the reason why they're here.
Yeah.
And so what do you say?
Typically, like, again, it kind of goes into like, okay, lots of different factors. You know what I mean? Like, okay, starting weight, height,
Right.
genetics, like so many
things.
different things play a part
even
in
like
it.
medical conditions or
That's the
certain
thing.
conditions kind of hinder
Yeah.
or it makes it harder to lose weight, right? Like
Yeah.
PCOS or other hormonal conditions, menopause.
Yeah, for sure. So I usually tell people, like, especially the first month of starting like a GLP-1, like these doses are mainly just to get your body used to the medication, hopefully minimize side effects. You know, the first month, it's normal not to see like consistent results, right? Maybe like a few pounds, especially within your first week, maybe like some water weight, but it's normal not to see consistent results. What do you tell your members?
Well, I kind of tell them the same thing. I tell them, the first month is your body adapting to the medication. And sometimes there's no necessarily weight loss happening, but you may see subtle changes like inflammation going down. Maybe you're less bloated. And also, I tell them, okay, look, just keep with it, keep at it. Don't give up, because the scale's not moving and the scale's kind of the worst thing sometimes, and when we're trying to lose weight, because it doesn't tell the whole story.
Yes.
And some people do experience weight loss in the beginning, and that happens too. But I tell people you fall into one of three categories. Either you'll feel the effects right away, so that means full on, you're feeling them, appetite suppressing, or you're feeling it mildly, meaning you take your shot on Monday, by Thursday it's not working anymore, or you don't feel it at all. And all those three scenarios are all normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Everybody's different and every body is different.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, starting weight, height, a lot of people don't necessarily realize, they think that maybe it's a one shoe fits all. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas like different doses work differently for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your lifestyle? Like, are you someone who has already made the changes before starting the medication? Or are you someone that like is hoping that medication like gives you some motivation and, to help make those changes, right? So
exactly.
depends.
And it's just, giving yourself some grace,
Yes.
being patient with yourself. Some people are hard on themselves and they think, I'm not doing it right.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's not. No, it's just normal. It's just you adapting to the medication, and the medication will do its thing eventually.
Yes.
Just work with it.
Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is too, like, especially we're on the medication, we're
Yes,
on tirzepatide,
yeah.
and like one of the things that I noticed was, like I go to sit down, I can like eat, but like I can't eat as much. And like maybe my first week I didn't see too much weight loss. I know there's been weeks that I've actually like gained weight when I thought that maybe I wouldn't, but it's like it comes differently like for everyone. So like it could be you can't eat as much. Maybe you used to be like a late night snacker and now like you don't have that craving anymore, right?
Right.
So it really depends on
That's true. Like for me, the first week I didn't feel anything at all. Well, I did take it wrong. I took it wrong. Okay, I admit I took it wrong. It was hilarious. It was like a skit. I mean, the dose. So I will not count that first shot. That was like, okay, I had crazy reflux, but that was on me taking too much. And then after that, it all settled, and I didn't feel anything. And then maybe by, I want to say the third week or so, I noticed in hindsight that I didn't want to snack.
Yeah.
That's all I noticed. But as far as meal sizes, I could eat the same sizes, but I didn't want to snack.
Yeah.
And then by the second dose, my appetite was absolutely suppressed. I was like, I couldn't eat the same portion sizes. I had to split my lunch in two.
Yeah.
Like,
yes, I noticed that
so
too.
things like that.
I'm like, my gosh, there's leftovers? What
Right.
do you mean? That's a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Leftovers. I would never have leftovers.
Yeah.
So that happened. And then by the last week of that second dose, then I felt my hunger come back.
Gotcha.
So then I knew I was ready for the third.
Yeah.
And then I lost weight pretty fast, which I was surprised. But I think a lot of it was inflammation. Like the first 2 weeks, losing 5 pounds or 6 pounds, something like that. But it was a lot of inflammation going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's the thing, like with a lot of people, like I have PCOS. I think that was one of the biggest things that I noticed too. And it's just like things that used to hurt don't hurt anymore. And it's like, that's also a win, you know, like so many different things. It's like, okay, I'm not snacking as much. My knees don't hurt as much anymore. Like it's so crazy, like how much this medication can help with so many different things.
And I think that anything that your body needs, it's better that it takes time for it to, because your body will, I always say this, your body will meet you there. Your body will meet you. We're always trying to find balance and homeostasis. That's the whole purpose our body's trying to do all day, every day. And then when you're doing things, it'll be gradual, but it will meet you there to your goal that you're trying to achieve. Again, it's patience, because you know what? It kind of sucks. You go on a cruise and you can gain 5 pounds. But losing those 5 pounds,
10 for me.
Or even it's like it takes forever. You're like, damn it. So that it can get annoying that way. So totally feel folks when they're like, man, it's not moving the scale. So,
and that's the thing. I always say, like, slow and steady, because not only do you want to lose weight, you want it to be sustainable. So even those weeks that maybe it's a little slower than what you want, or like, you know, it's not looking necessarily how you want it to, look at it in terms of like a bigger picture. Like what I like to do is like, I look at it in terms of like average per month. So like some weeks I'm like, man, like, you know, it's a little slower, but then when I look at it in terms of an average per month, maybe I lost like 4 or 5 pounds, and it's like, I'm averaging about like a pound a week, right? Which is great. And that's the thing. I know, you know, up to, what is it, like 2 pounds per week? It's like a healthy range. You know, to lose. So if you're seeing like slow but even consistent weight loss, that is a win.
That is a win. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's safer too for you.
Do you ever like tell your members to focus on certain things when they're not necessarily like seeing the scale move?
Well, I always ask about inflammation. Okay, did you feel you're less bloated? Because everyone's bloated. Anyway, including myself. So I'm like, do you feel less bloated? And they always like, it always comes with a yes, that they felt little differences. And then they'll add other things that they've noticed. Then they'll kind of remember when I like prompt the question, but sometimes not right away, because they're, you know, their initial goal in the conversation is to tell me how disappointed they've been with the scale or whatever. And then when I prompt them on something, they're like, oh yeah, and this. So I had someone tell me that her hip pain was gone, which was, and in the beginning she's like, oh, it's not moving the weight, but it's good. You know, I know it takes time. And then when I talked to her again, she was like, my hip pain is gone. And like in our family, my mom has this hip pain and she had surgery. It's a thing and it's gone. I can get out of bed normally, which, like, you know, that's not like what the medication does, but somehow it does. It does help with that. So stuff like that. So in her case, it wasn't really a hard stretch to look at wins, because she was also losing weight and she noticed this. So that she was happy about it. But for people who are like, they're not yet seeing the scale move, I always go into the inflammation thing, because it seems like it's so common. Everyone has some kind of low dose inflammation of some sort. And then they do see, that's the first thing they see happening for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Most of the time.
Another thing too, I think so many people, if not almost all people, food noise.
Right.
Food noise. And a lot of people are like, I didn't know this was even a thing. Until like there was a term put to it. And it's like, I can totally relate, because sometimes it's like you're eating your meal and you're already thinking about what you're going to eat for your next meal, or for dessert, or for tomorrow, or something. And it's like, to have help with that that's one thing that you can kind of notice off the bat too for a lot of people, right? Is like the food noise. It's like you hear people being like, "Oh man, it's like 3 or 4 o'clock," and like,
and
I ate breakfast, but like I totally forgot. Like it's like I've been busy, and it's like the food noise is a really big thing for a lot of people, and that's one thing that you can kind of notice too. For some people off the bat, rather maybe before weight loss or things like that. But another big thing too is like your clothes fitting better. Yeah, and it's like
such a bonus.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
All the gold outfits in the closet that you're like, oh, right? I get to that way.
Yes.
Or the jeans.
Yes. And it's like, okay, I haven't seen it on the scale this week, but I can feel it in my clothes. And it's like, okay, like, this is a great thing. Like, because sometimes the scale can
the scale is fun. A lie.
Yeah, the scale can be deceiving
the scale
sometimes.
Is like, right? The scale can be deceiving. There's so many things in your weight. Like you do have bone mass, you have, water, which is normal. You have muscle. Not that we're all bodybuilders, but the muscle weight is a factor. It's there. And so, when you focus too much on it, it can be depressing on the scale. For years, I didn't have a scale. I just bought a scale. I bought it 10 years ago, but before that in my life, I never had a scale because I was like, I'm going to get mad at this scale. I'm going to weigh myself all the time and I'm going to be pissed.
I'm going to
smash that scale. So sometimes, leave the scale alone. Just, the inches tell the whole story, right? If you lost some inches and your clothes will tell you. Yeah. So that's a good feeling.
Yeah, for sure. And that goes back to what you said. I mean, muscle mass is like a lot of people once they start the medication, that's when they're starting to go to the gym because you just feel so good and you want to make the most of it, right? And it's like, even myself, I've had weeks that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I either stayed the same or sometimes I gained, and then I have one of those scales that like you can
that breaks it down,
right? I don't know how accurate, but it's fine. Right. And it's like sometimes you gain muscle, which is great in itself, and sometimes you can lose fat, right? So sometimes that's also a factor that goes into it.
And sometimes, like I've lost weight in the past, and when I weighed myself, I'll say on the scale, I weighed less than I did before I gained the weight. So I was like, oh, great. And I weighed more, but my clothing size was smaller than when I was at that weight before. And that's because of the muscle, because I had gained some muscle. So my size was smaller, but my weight was bigger, was a little more. Anyway, and right? Okay. So that happens. That's a phenomenon too. It is. So, and it's a nice phenomenon because, it means that you gain some muscle, and it means that don't look at the scale all the time because it sucks sometimes.
Yeah, it does. It's not nice sometimes.
Yeah, it's not nice to us sometimes. I agree.
Yeah. But honestly, I take non-scale victories sometimes even better than the scale. Because it's like, if you're feeling good, okay, you're feeling good. Yeah. Your clothes are fitting better. You can do things. You can walk further than what you could walk. You can tie your shoe
without feeling like it's cutting you in half to get to the shoe.
Yep.
That's a huge thing.
You can walk further distances. You're not getting beat out as quick. Like, so many things that are just like
little things.
Right.
They add up. They really add up. So
they do.
Yeah. And I like that it's not a magic pill, right? It's not like, when I was a kid, there was this thing called Dexatrim, and people, it used to be for weight loss, and it was like, oh, magic, you lose weight. And I think we've been trained with that kind of mindset with the weight loss medications, thinking that it's supposed to do that, but that's definitely not healthy for your body. Your body needs time, to adapt to whatever changes. And then as you go along with that flow that your body has, which is more of a slower flow, then it'll progress and do its thing.
Yeah. And that's what we tell our members too. It's like, it's about creating healthy habits. Yeah. So that, let's just say, if, in the future you're off the medication, or, you're doing it on your own, that you have these habits that you've created with maybe strength training, exercise, nutrition, making sure, prioritize, like protein, fiber, like, getting your nutrients. Those are the types of things that can help you in the long run. What are the things that they tell you, or even in your own personal experience with tirzepatide, that you're like, maybe this is the time to maybe talk with your physician here at Weightcare, or to maybe look into an increased dose? What do you kind of tell them, or what do you look for?
Well, they're like, that's a good question. Well, okay, because it's so different depending on the person, how it comes up. Sometimes you need a little more probing because they didn't notice that they didn't notice the change so much. But it's really like, okay, so I'll use myself as an example. So like right now, today is my shot day. Today is the day that I'm like, I'm ready for the 7.5 for sure.
Oh, you're increasing today.
I'm increasing today.
Oh, let's go.
So the past few days, I would say I've been feeling hungry like I felt hungry before being on the medication, which is, and the food noise, like, which is like, I gotta eat. What am I gonna eat today? I gotta eat. And it's like, I gotta eat now. So that's different from when I'm on the meds and I eat breakfast at say 9:30 and it's 4 p.m. and that's when I'm hungry. By 4, I'm actually feeling a little hunger. And I'm like, oh my God. And I do the thing that I tell everybody not to do, which is don't skip meals.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do.
It's hard.
Because you forget, you forget to eat. And then because sometimes you didn't have time to prep it before. So now you're like, oh, I'm not going to do it. I don't have time.
Yeah.
So that's the difference is now I'm like, I'm hungry, ravenous again by noon. Okay. So that's how I know it's time to go up in dose. And that's how people know I ask them, are you starting to feel hungry again? And they'll go, yes. And that's how you know that's why I think, okay, you know what? Ask the doctor if you can go up in dose if it's outside their schedule, or if it's within the schedule, it's like, okay, you're ready for the next one. Just go ahead, because those are the signs. Yeah. And I also let them know, that's another thing too, is let them know that, higher doses not correlate to more weight loss. It's not a straight direct correlation at all. It's more, the dose that still works for you. So let's say you're on tirzepatide and you're at 10. Your dosing schedule is 4 weeks. After 4 weeks, it's still working. You can stay at that dose. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I always say, check with the physician to let them know, hey, I think I want to stay at that dose. And they'll tell you yes or no. Most of the time they'll say yes, just to get their back, to get that, make sure you're okay, like medically, whatever. Yeah, for sure. But that's how you know if the medication works or not. And then you could reach your weight loss goals. Maybe your weight loss goals you reach at 10. I had one lady, she lost 40 pounds at 7.5 the whole time.
Wow, good for her.
And I'm like, okay, she's like, I know I'm sensitive to medication, so I don't want to go up. I was like, okay. Yeah. So she stayed at 7.5 and it worked out. I mean, that's one out of 300 some members. But, yeah. I mean, I guess it can happen. Yeah. For sure. We learn from the members along the way too. So
that's the thing, and it goes back to, seriously, everyone is different. Right. Because I've been on the 2.5 since October. I have not increased. No way. Don't get me wrong. I personally, for me, I don't feel too much of the appetite suppression right now, but I'm feeling good. I'm losing slow but steady. So I'm like, may I increase in the future? Yeah. You don't know. It's still a possibility. There's still, lots of time to figure it out. But yeah, it really goes back to different doses work differently. And if a dose is working for you, you can stick with it for as long as it doesn't, So kind of go back and see, okay, how am I feeling? Do I feel good? Okay, is the appetite suppression less now? Is it kind of weaning off more quicker than it used to, before shot day? So many different factors, to kind of see. I feel like, and the thing is too, your body best. Right. So if you feel like, oh, the food noise is creeping back in, or, oh, I'm thinking about food constantly, okay, maybe have that conversation about increasing your dose.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. You're at 2.5? Wow, that's amazing. Love it. Yeah. Amazing.
So we'll see, but.
Yeah, I want to say, I want dose 2. I don't want to go up too much. No reason. There's no reason behind that. Just because. Just because. Yeah. Yeah. It's cool if I can stay at a dose for a longer period of time than scheduled. Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. And that's the thing. I mean, like you said, increasing the dose doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have more weight loss. It just means that you could have more appetite suppression, which could help out with it, right? So even though we're talking about the food noise and whatnot, it doesn't mean that you should not feel hungry at all. Yes. Right? Because we're biologically made to feel hungry. Yeah. Yeah. So how would you explain it, as far as the hunger?
What I tell my members is, okay, so your body feels hunger, okay? Right. You need to feel hunger because obviously that's your body's way of being like, fuel me, I need nutrients, you know? So if you feel hungry on the medication, that's normal. You don't ever want to get to a point where you don't feel hunger. But the thing that a lot of people struggle with is food noise. There's a fine line between food noise and hunger. So like you need to provide your body with nutrients. You need to eat. That's why we tell a lot of people, if you feel so much appetite suppression, schedule your meals. Like go, okay, I'm having breakfast at this time. I'm going to have lunch here, dinner here. Because you need to fuel your body. Because if you don't, this can lead to like fatigue. It can lead to side effects, hair loss, nausea, acid reflux even if you're not eating because there's nothing in your stomach. There. You need to have food in your stomach for the medication to help with, right? So that there's a fine line between hunger and food noise. And if you're noticing that, okay, the food noise is coming back, I'm thinking about food a lot, I'm thinking about my next meal even when I'm eating this one.
Snacking at night again.
Yeah, that could be a sign that, okay, maybe this dose might not be as effective. Maybe
because technically we're not supposed to be snacking while we're on this. We're not supposed to feel the need to snack. If we're having full meals, right, there shouldn't be the feeling of snacking in between because that's the whole point of the medication. And I tell people, you know, kind of eat like a diabetic, which is every 3 to 4 hours at least, you know. And if some people are like, well, you know, oh, I don't want to eat late at night. It's not really the late at night part, is how late are you going to bed, right? So at least 4 hours before bedtime, for example, you're having your last meal. And because you might have a shift from 3 to 11, right? So you're not going to be like someone else who's going to eat their dinner. They're not eating anything past 7. You're not going to be that person because you're working at 7. Yeah. So kind of that stuff. But yeah, important to know that, yes, you're going to feel hungry. It's normal. It's the food noise part, which you will kind of recognize coming back because you'll have noticed that it wasn't there for a while. And then now, you're like, this is back. Like, that's how I used to think before. Because sometimes you didn't even know you had the food noise because you've been living with it your whole life.
Exactly.
Right? Yep. And you only noticed it after the fact. Yeah. So like that, I guess it is a fine line. If you're not sure, you can always check in with your MSD.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're always here to answer any questions. And I think having that person to be like, is this normal? And especially us being on the medication, it's so really cool because we know exactly how they feel. You know what I mean? Or like can kind of be, you know, together with them on that. So if you have any questions, you can always
It's so funny because, you know, before being on it, I'm like, 80 to 100 grams protein a day. Okay, make sure, try to hit that. I know it's going to be hard, but, you know, like, try to hit it. And your fiber, 30 grams. I'm on it. I can't even hit that on a good day. Okay, so totally understand. And I totally understand why it's hard because of that, you know, reduced appetite, so you're fuller faster. So then I'm like, okay, I got to chop up those meals into like 3, smaller 4 meals, maybe 5 sometimes. So just to make sure I hit it. But it's funny how, you know, we give our spiel and this is the spiel we know that, you know, it's all science and it's all good and our nutritionist Sharon gives us the advice. And then when you apply it in real life, you're like, oh God, that is hard. I get it.
I know. It's crazy being in it yourself, right? Yeah. But there's lots of different ways to figure it out because it's new for everybody.
Right.
That's the thing, right?
That's true. Building new habits.
Yes, building new habits and figuring out what works for you in your lifestyle and things while making all of these changes that for a lot of people they didn't make before, right? So it's a crazy journey.
It is. I love it though. I love being a part of it with folks too. Because it's just it's nice to see like someone's evolution, right?
Yeah. So it is. It's so nice. So Mitchie, all this to say, it's extremely important to just be patient with yourself throughout the process, making the changes. It's totally normal to be at a slow rate or to be at a fast rate. Everybody is different and every body is different. So just keep that in mind along your journey. Thank you guys so much for watching our second episode of Behind the Weight Loss. You can find us wherever you stream your podcasts and like and subscribe for more.